Thank you for being here. This is my first LinkedIn Live. Super fired up. We are going to rip through some crazy stuff going on in the world of email. And I promise you, when this is over, there's going to be stuff that you can go out and test. There's going to be stuff that makes you super nauseous. And there's going to be stuff that you're going to be like, that dude was crazy. There's no way that that's accurate. But we're going to do it together. So I'm going to go right into my deck here because I don't want to lose even a moment. I'm Jay Schwedelson. Let me tell you about me for 1 second here. I am going to put up my PowerPoint because that's fun. All right. So you are at Do This, Not That for Q3, Email Best Practices. It is August 11th. That's not really helpful. And let me tell you really quickly who I am. For those of you that don't know me, for those of you that have gone to my webinars before, I'm sorry, but you're back. You must have insomnia, and this will cure that. For those of you that I don't know, please connect with me on LinkedIn so you can learn about more stuff in the future if you want to, or don't. That's fine too. So I have a company called World Data. We're about a 100-person organization. We've been around for over 40 years. We do demand generation work for some of the largest companies on the planet, both business to business and business to consumer. I am not an ESP. I'm not a marketing automation platform. I work with all of them. On behalf of my clients, we send out about 6 billion email messages annually. Again, both B2B and B2C. That's where all of our data comes from. We have a research division. We aggregate all that information. Some of you may know a division of my company called subjectline.com, which is the #1 site for checking your subject lines. Totally free. If you've never used it, check it out. We just checked our 11 million subject line. It's totally free. Anyway, that's who I am. If you need any help with data services, demand gen, direct marketing stuff, email best practices, hit me up afterwards. Would love to talk to you about that. But that's not why you're here. You're here to talk about what's going on in the world, what is going on in the world of email marketing. Okay, let's jump into a few things. So perhaps some of us have been living under a rock. So let me recap a few major things going on the planet. Number one, there's a pandemic going on. We give that a big thumbs down. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes and what impact that has on email, but it's not great. Okay. Number two, rich people fly to outer space now. Awesome. If you want to spend $25 million to fly to outer space for 11 minutes, you are cooler than I am. Okay, number three, and this is the part. Apple, in their upcoming release of their operating system for their phone and whatnot, iOS 15, this will radically impact your email marketing tracking. For some of you, what I just said is gobbledygook and it's news. So for those of you that already know that this iOS 15 change is happening, you're going to be very bored for about 90 seconds, and then we're going to all get back together and collectively throw up. So let me do a recap on this Apple thing, because it's really, really important. It's probably the single biggest change to email marketing that's happened in the last 10 years. Okay, so it's really important. If you are a marketer and you care about email, which you probably do because you're at this webinar, you need to understand this Apple thing. We're going to recap it, and then we're going to get into what you can actually do about it, okay? So the recap is at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference about 6 weeks ago, they announced that in their upcoming update to their operating system, iOS, it's iOS 15, which is going to be released in early September, they're going to have something called Mail Privacy Protection. It's going to be an option for people that use Apple's Mail app to have more privacy with their data and their information and whatnot. But one of the huge impacts of this is going to be how it radically alters email marketing. Let me read to you exactly what Apple is describing is going to happen. Then we're going to talk about how bad it is. And then the thing that nobody on the planet has talked about is what you can actually do about it. Okay, this is what Apple's doing. This is how they describe it. In the Mail app on your phone, in the Mail app, Mail Privacy Protection stops the senders, that's you guys, from using invisible pixels to collect information about the user. The new feature helps users prevent senders from knowing when they open an email and mask their IP address so it can't be linked to other online activity or used to determine their location. Okay, this is going to happen in early September when your iPhone updates. All right, what does this mean? This means it's going to impact about 46% of all email recipients, okay, on the planet here, in the United States especially, business to business and consumer. This is not a consumer thing. This is not a business thing. This is 46% of all recipients. You are looking at a screenshot of my phone. Those are my kids in the background. Hello, okay? What we're talking about is anybody who uses, you see the app on the bottom, the native iOS Mail Apple app, anybody who reads their email using this app, those are the people who are going to have their images basically cached, which means you're not going to be able to track open information. If somebody opens up a message, you're not going to be able to get open rate tracking for anyone who uses this app who doesn't opt out of not being tracked. Uh-oh, we just jumped ahead. That's not what we're looking for. Okay, so we're back. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go from current slide. Okay, so that means I'm not talking about people that use the Gmail app, what you see up in the second arrow. I'm talking about people that use this app right here. All right, those are the people impacted, B2B and B2C. That's a huge problem. So we just said roughly 45%, okay, of every email recipient come mid-September to late September, you no longer will be able to do open rate tracking for those people. Okay, you're not going to be able to send out marketing automation messages to people that either opened an email or didn't open an email. It's a total mess. This is not news. This has been out for about a month or so. So now the big question is, what do we do about it? How do we deal with this? Okay, so we're dealing with the fact, and by the way, we're on LinkedIn Live, so some things get a little bit wonky, a little bump in the road here, but that's okay. What do we do about the iOS change? Number one, there's two groups of people that are really annoying me right now. The first group of people that I cannot stand are what we call email experts. Okay. The next group of people, as relates to the iOS 15 change that's driving me nuts, are your email sending platform partners and your marketing automation vendors. They're also driving me nuts. Why? Right now, if you go online, you Google iOS 15 impact on email marketing, and it's going to say you no longer be able to track open rates. What do all the email experts say? They say the same two things. They say, well, open rates haven't been meaningful in a long time. They're totally meaningless. Who cares, right? And nobody uses an open rate anymore. To me, that's total and complete garbage. Of course we use open rates, right? They're saying, well, open rates aren't exact. That's what experts say. They're not exact, right? That's not an exact number. That very well may be true. But if you're testing an A-B split, two different subject lines, and you send them out, and one gets a 15% higher open rate than the other one, then you're like, cool, this subject line did better than this subject line. Or if you want to test day of the week, or you want to test time of the day, you need open rate tracking in order to understand how these variables are performing. So when an expert says, don't worry about the open rate anymore, it's meaningless. Those people don't live in the real world. They live in their email expert bubble, and I discount everything that they say because they're not dealing with the reality that us as marketers have to deal with every day. We need to know what stuff is working and what's not so we can scale it up. So I don't listen to them anymore. Done. They're over. Now, the second group of people who are driving me nuts are your email sending platforms and your marketing automation vendors. They're also equally annoying. What's happening? All of you who are aware of this iOS 15 change have been banging your head against the wall for the last month, and you very likely have been calling up your provider, your ESP or your marketing automation platform, MailChimp, Salesforce, Marketo, whoever, and saying, hey, what's our tracking going to look like after the iOS 15 change happens in September? What should we be doing right now to get ready? And they're all doing the same thing. All of the different vendors, they go, well, we're evaluating it. We're going to get back to you. We're assessing it. We're reviewing it. Meanwhile, you're sitting there like, what? We have no plan? This thing's hitting in a month from now. We have no plan. I'm not going to be how am I going to go to a meeting with my tracking? I have no information. What is going on? They are driving me crazy. So, email experts, I'm sick of you. Okay? All your vendors, I'm sick of them. So let's talk about what we actually can do right now that we need to be doing to do stuff. Okay. Information you have in your platform right now. Whatever you send out, whenever you go to hit send, I hit send and I send out my email, whatever mechanism you're using, whatever platform, marketing automation, ESP, I don't care. Within this platform, whether you regularly look at it or not, you already have this information available. You're looking at a screen grab from Litmus, who makes this information available for their clients, and so does every other technology provider, email sending provider, whatever. And what the information is, currently, you have this information. You have it broken out of people that are using the Apple Mail app, the native Apple Mail app to read their email, and then you have a group of people that are not. These are the two groups that you need to identify, you need to establish, and it's already done for you in your platform, but you don't realize it. You need to reach out to your provider and say, okay, I need to break my database into two groups right now, today. When you get done with this today, you break them into two groups. Anybody, because you can identify it on every single record that you send your email out to. It's in your system right now. Call them up. Okay, I need to break it out in two groups. Anyone using the Apple Mail app, iOS, and then everybody else. Great. It's going to be about 45% of your database is going to be Apple Mail, and then you're about 55% is going to be everybody else. Super. Now you have these two groups. And like I said, you already have this information. Great. Now, what do we got to do? This is not hard. Okay, this is a sample of what you want your email tracking to look like today. See on the bottom there, it says July 15th, July 16th, July 17th. This is a sample email tracking report broken out by day right now. And what you want to do is you want to break out your two groups, your iOS users and everybody else. And you want to send out email campaigns, your regular email campaigns, everything that you normally send out, your newsletters, your offer emails, whatever. Okay. And then you want to go into your tracking, have it set up this way now. Okay. And you want to track separately iOS people from everybody else. Why do you want to do that? Number one, you want to establish that they perform the same. And there's no real reason why they shouldn't, unless you're targeting like graphic designers or educators or something like that. There's no reason why they shouldn't, but you want to establish, okay, my iOS users open emails at the same rate as my non-iOS users. Why does that matter? That's a huge, critical, important element that you need to identify right now. Because once you figure out that this 45% of your audience, this iOS 45%, acts the same as the other 55%, you are in good shape come mid-September and October. Why? Okay, now you know that both are the same. Because fast forward now, and you see the tracking on the bottom of this screenshot, it's showing a campaign that is now going out in October. Right? It's going out in October, October 15th, 16th, 17th, and showing open rates by day. So instead of both groups being at about 25% open rate, you see the iOS line is opening up at like 80%. And that's what's going to happen to your tracking. All the Apple users, they're going to get an automatic open on every message that you send to that population of 45% of your audience. So when you go into your tracking, it's going to be wildly inflated. But if you break out the two groups, you'll have iOS users and everybody else. So you'll still have that everybody else line, that 55% line. You'll still be able to see directionally important information like, oh, you know, back in July, my open rate on this was 27%. Now it's October, my open rate for the non-Apple users is 29%. Oh, we're still doing fine, blah, blah, blah. That's the secret sauce. So when you say to your ESPs and marketing automation vendors, well, what should I be doing right now? And they go, we're evaluating. You don't need to track opens anymore, or some other moronic thing. You tell them, no, this is what I want to do because this will help you incredibly, right? So you'll still have that open rate directional information, which is awesome. By the way, this is not me selling anything. We just released on our site, one of our sites, subjectline.com, totally free. We now have what is my open rate iOS tool. So once this Armageddon hits, you actually be able to go there, plug in what your inflated open rate is, and it will calculate for you what your normalized open rate is, and it will remove the Apple users. So down the road, when this hits and you're looking for some metrics and your ESP is giving you a hard time, you can go to subjectline.com. It's totally free. You don't even have to register to use it, and you could get your open rate information. Anyway, oh my God, I talk fast. Hold on, I gotta take a sip of water. By the way, because we're on LinkedIn Live, this is my first LinkedIn Live. I hope this is going well. I have no idea if it is. You can leave comments in there. I will get to the comments later on or whatever's chat, or you can tell me I'm the worst person alive. That's fine. But I won't be able to just email out everybody the slides. So if you want the slides, that's going to be my email address. Oh my God. My wife always tells me to put these slides in there, take a pause, to take a deep breath. And what do? I just talk during the part I'm supposed to be taking a deep breath. So sorry. Anyway, okay. Enough of the iOS 15 thing. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about COVID. I mean, come on. If I can't get you excited about stuff, I don't know what I'm doing. First, I talk about iOS 15, and now I'm talking about COVID. It's like, why are you even here? This is the most depressing thing of all time. But we got to talk about it. Unfortunately, we got to talk about it. Everything that I put into these decks that I do is as up to date as humanly possible. I don't like when you attend a session and they're giving you information from a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. How useless is that? So I'm talking about data from the last 30 days because unfortunately, listen, I don't care. I do care, but if you're someone who's like doesn't care about COVID, doesn't believe it, that's not what this is about. This is not what that's about. This is about reality because as marketers, we have to deal with the reality of the planet. And unfortunately, things were cruising in the right direction, right? June, we were looking pretty good. And we just hit like the worst bump in the road here as it relates to this COVID thing. So unfortunately, that is impacting email marketing. Email performance mirrors humanity. Period. End of story, right? It mirrors humanity. So in the last 30 days, when we compare July 5th email performance to August 5th email performance, and we look at data of humanity, not just your inbox. We first look at humanity and then we look at your inbox. It's amazing what we see. Number one, and this is data, I source it all on every slide. You'll see interest in going to the movies in the last 30 days down 14%, right? Streaming is up 12%. Would you like to return to work in an office? Your interest is down 22%. Open table dining reservations is down 12%. Shopping mall visits down 14%. So you could say whatever you want that I don't care. I'm going out. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It doesn't matter what you think. Okay, this is humanity. These are the numbers. These are the metrics in the last 30 days. We again have shifted back in the direction of, some people aren't doing as much. Now, why does this matter for email marketing? What you are looking at here is average email open rates throughout the entire pandemic. The blue line is B2B. The orange line is B2C. Okay, so when you see, back in March of 2020, you see on the bottom of the date, you had an open rate of 17% for B2B average and 19% for B2C average. These are averages, right? So you're probably sitting there saying, well, mine are a lot higher. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant if you're higher or lower. It's the directional. It's the way the line is going that we have to learn from and we have to react to. So as you can see, during the height of the pandemic, if you look at, for example, last winter, okay, when the pandemic was really bad, open rates were at their highest point. Why? Because when things were really bad, what did we do? We weren't going out as much. We were online. We were trying to find out if it was the end of the world. Okay. And then as you go towards the end of the slide here, the end of the graph, you look at May and June of this year, and the open rates for email, both B2B and B2C, they were at their lowest point. Why? Because everyone's like, screw this. I'm not looking at my computer anymore. I'm going out. I'm doing stuff. It's awesome. I'm going to Lollapalooza. I mean, whatever, right? What's happened though in the last 30 days? Open rates, average open rates have jumped up again. They've jumped up again. As you see, we're averaging now 20% B2C, 18% B2B. They've jumped up. That stinks. That stinks. Believe it or not, as a guy who does email marketing for a living, I would rather see them be lower. Because if they were lower, it meant everybody had a life. And right now we can't have a life because we got to be careful. Okay, that stinks. Now, here's what's interesting. In the last 60 days, inbox activity is up 22%. What? Inbox activity is not when people are opening up emails or clicking on emails. Inbox activity is the time you are spending inside your inbox, B2B and B2C. We are now spending, in the last 60 days, more time, 22% more time in our inbox than we were 60 days ago, okay? And that is because of the trend of the planet. Two things happen. People do a little bit less, they go out a little bit less, but also they're really interested in what they're being communicated with because they're getting all these important emails, right? All this stuff's coming in, so they have to look at it. Open rates the last 60 days have jumped up 28% B2B, 21% B2C. That's a huge jump in 60 days. So what does this mean to me? Well, first of all, you don't want to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, the last 60 days, I'm doing a great job with my email campaigns. They're doing really well. I am awesome. That's not true. That's not true. What's happening is the world is happening, right? And that's reflected in what it is that you're sending out. Now, as a marketer, what does it mean to what I'm sending out? What does it mean to the actual stuff I'm sending out? There are certain offers that are doing much better in the last 20 days, right, than others. And listen, When you watch this now, if you watch this in 3 months, this is going to be like, wait a minute, those offers aren't working anymore because maybe we'll be on to the the gamma variant, right? And then maybe it's fine. But today, right now, this is what's important. So on B2B, when these offers are mentioned in the subject line, some are working and some are not. So virtual event, it's back up 21%, right? Lift, open rate right now, it's up. In-person event promotions, we've seen it drop into the toilet, 27% down. That's not good. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you not to go to an event. I'm not telling you I wouldn't go to an event. I'm telling you what is going on with humanity. And that is what we have to react to. So content focus, anything on the B2B side that's talking about the outlook, what is coming ahead, that is surging. That's all we want to know is when is this going to be over? What's coming next in my industry, in my sector, right? If you put outlook in the subject line, what is coming ahead? It is doing so well today. Now, on the consumer side, free shipping always does well, but it's doing incredibly well now. Why? Because we're a little less interested in going to the store. That's why. Why is in store down 14%? Because we're a little less interested in going in the store. And then why is online only up 25% in the last 20 days? For the same reason. So sometimes I get blasted. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be talking about that. You shouldn't talk about, people going here, going there. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do this. I'm telling you, you have to cater, right? What do we do as marketers? We have to cater to how audiences are reacting, not how we want them to react. That is the world, okay? So now we have the data, and now we have to take a step back and say, oh, okay, we're taking a little bit of step back in time. What were some of the emails that, during this thing was really hitting the toilet last year? What was working well for me? How was I getting people to attend these webinars? How was I getting people to take advantage of certain online-only offers, right? That's what we have to be thinking about. So when you see these in your inbox now, when you see CIO, promoting their virtual events, right? Invitation to a virtual event, or you get emails that say, get the in-store experience online. There is a reason for that, right? This is not, people just don't send out emails. Major marketers don't just send out emails. They know what's going to work. And you know what really works well during all of this? Relevance. As tight as you can be in terms of relevance into what's going on right now is how well your emails will perform. If your content can speak to what is going on and not avoid it, not sugarcoat it, but actually speak to this horrible year and a half, this pandemic, you will see an incredible return. So when Morgan Stanley sends out their emails that says, has the US housing market peaked? They're like, oh my God, I have a house. What's happening? Or will the Delta variant concerns affect the US consumer activity? You're opening up these emails because we all care. Whatever opinion you have, we all care about what's going on, right? So stay as tight as you can to what is going on the planet. Okay, thank God we got through the two most disgusting topics. We got through iOS 15 and we got through COVID. Now we get on to nonsense. Yay. These are going to be tips, tricks, things that you could do right now that are going to improve your email marketing performance. Okay, and this is data from right now. The first thing I want to talk about is your from address. This is the most neglected part of email marketing. It is bizarre to me why we don't pay attention to this, and something has happened in the last 6 months where the from address is radically changing how email campaigns are performing. Let me give you some examples. Now, some of you maybe attended webinars of mine in the past. You're like, oh, I've seen Jay talk about from address before. No, this is new data and this is different. And it's really, really important. So don't discount what I'm talking about here and be like, I know that already, because you don't know it to this extent, because this data, we just brought this together recently. So the first thing, let's just get some basics under our belt. The basics under our belt is real simple. You have your email delivery address that you send from. My email delivery address you see on the screen is jschwedelson@corpwd.com, right? That's what I send my email from when I email somebody. But I set an alias. I set a friendly from on my email. So when I send it to you, it doesn't come from that long email address. It comes from my name, Jay Schwedelson. That's what shows up. You see that on the top of the screen. That's how it shows up. Shows up Jay Schwedelson. So the Jay Schwedelson is my friendly from, and then the email address is my email delivery address. Who cares? Why are you telling me that? Okay. The next stat is a big deal. This can change your performance. Let's digest this. By the way, I know some of you know this already, but my slide deck is historically ugly. You don't have any idea how many emails I get after these things saying that's the ugliest slide deck I've ever seen. Your creative people should be made fun of, and you are a loser, which is fine. And my creative people don't touch this, so they're very good, but they don't touch this, so I don't want them to be made fun of. Anyway, I got off topic. Friendly from addresses. Friendly from addresses that match the topic of the subject line offer have an increased open rate. B2B 28%, B2C 32%. What did I just say? Okay, talking about 28 to 32% lift in open rate, and all you did was use a friendly from. Huh? Okay, so here's some examples. These are all recent, right? So the friendly from, when Gap sends out this email, it says Gap back to school. When Salesforce sends out this email promoting their event, it's Salesforce events. When Microsoft sends out their email, it says Microsoft Azure team, okay? Azure team. My IT people would kill me for saying Azure team, okay? When the AAD, the American Academy of Dermatology, sends it out, they're actually calling it their COVID update. This is the friendly from. It's all going to the same database. It's going to the same, it's not going to certain segments, right? Gap's not just sending that to certain people. It's going to their database, but they're using the friendly from to delineate what the offer is about. Why? Because the first thing that we look at in the email message is that from address. So when that from address says Gap back to school, you're like, oh, I need to get stuff for back to school. I'm now interested. I'm graduating to the subject line. When Salesforce sends out Salesforce events, you're like, oh, do they have a new event? I want to check it out. Tying the friendly from to your subject line. And that's what I'm talking about. New data, home run, 30% lift in open rate. It costs you nothing. It takes 5 seconds. There's not an email delivery platform on planet Earth that you can't do this on every time you hit send. And by the way, it takes about 5 seconds to do. It establishes relevance immediately, and it allows for a dramatic increase in sending volume. Let's look at some examples. Here's Salesforce. These are all the different things that they're sending me email from. Salesforce marketing, Salesforce Datarama, Pardot, events, whatever. A million different things. Why do they do this? Salesforce knows email a little bit. They're only about the largest email platform on earth. They know a little bit about email. Why are they doing that? Because they know it increases the open rate. Wayfair. Okay, I have a couch in my office. There it is. I bought it off Wayfair. It's the greatest thing of all time. Okay? Why is Wayfair? Every time they send something out, it always says they'll use final hours, annual sale, up to 80% off, right? It's not just about a segment. They're putting the offer as part of the friendly from. The friendly from is the start of your subject line. That's the way we have to think about it. That's where we're at, right? Walmart. Yeah, Walmart knows something about marketing. Why are they doing it? They're doing it for the same exact reasons I just told you before. I like the American Academy of Dermatology because my wife's a dermatologist. So there you go. She told me I need Botox. I do, right? Got some lines. She's like, you need to come in and get Botox. I'm an embarrassment. It's true. I do it. I do go in. Okay. I look like crap, but I do go in. I haven't been in a while. That's all right. I digress. Okay. So American Academy of Dermatology, they're doing it also. Look, there you go. Okay. So now this more stats. More stats. Sending 3 emails per week. Okay. Sending 3 emails per week from 3 different friendly from addresses versus sending 3 emails per week from 1 friendly from address, right? When you use 3 friendly from addresses, just 3, you're increasing your open rate to 22% B2B, B2C 31%. So it drives me crazy when I'll deal with, we work with 40 out of the Fortune 100 companies on the planet. And we work with mid-market, SMB, so it's not, size companies. We work with B2B, B2C, associations, government, healthcare, you name it. And invariably, they all say the same thing. Oh, somebody's like, oh, well, email doesn't work for us. Yeah, no, it doesn't work for us. I'm like, no, it doesn't work for you because you think that you just send out an email. If they don't respond, it's because email just doesn't work. Email is a series of little things. It's 5,000 different little things. It's not one thing, right? So we have to take into account everything. Everything matters. It all matters. I'll give you an example on the B2B side for a second. These are 2 emails. On the B2B side, a lot of marketers use third-party content like Gartner content or IDC or Aberdeen or one of these guys. And they'll take their Gartner content. I love Gartner, by the way, and Forrester, whatever. They'll take their content and they'll send out an email. And they're very excited because in the latest Gartner Magic Quadrant, they're in the awesome section or whatever, right? And you see what Veeam did here on the right. Their subject line says, Veeam is positioned in the 2021 Magic Quadrant, whatever, Gartner. That's not the way to do it. You want to do it what these guys did here on the left, where it's Gartner Inc. 2021 Market Guide, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to promote yourself. Obviously, you're not sending it out if it doesn't show that you are cool in the report. You don't want to say that, and people don't open it. They don't care that you're promoting yourself. What's in it for them? So in the last 60 days, we've seen subject line promotion of third-party content without the sender's brand has an increased open rate of 28%. Stop having such an ego. They're going to open up. They're going to see you're doing good. Congratulations. Who cares? All right. Oh my God, do I talk a lot? Holy cow. We got a lot. We're getting through a lot. I have no idea if anybody is dialed into this LinkedIn Live. You're probably all sleeping. That's fine. I respect that, but we're going to get through a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, this is new information. It looks like an old slide, but it's new information. Last 30 days. These are words that when you put in your subject line, okay, you're seeing a lift in your open rate that are trending now. B2C on the left, at least on my left, and then B2B on the right. Okay, so when you put the words, for example, secret in the subject line, right now it's doing really well. When you put don't miss out. Okay, things like that, you're lifting your open rate by 18%. Free in your subject line, 37% lift. And by the way, free kills it on B2B as well. The ones that are wild to me are things like uh-oh and oops. Uh-oh, you're going to miss out on our big sale. 29%. Uh-oh used to be, I screwed up. Oops used to be, oh my God, we sent out the wrong link. Nope. Now oops is, oops, you're missing out on our best deal of the year. Why do people do that? Why are marketers doing oops and using it, right? I feel like that, I'm trying to understand how to use the word gaslighting. I keep not being able to use it properly. I feel like that's the gaslighting of email. Like you're saying oops, you're turning it around. I don't know. I can't use that term properly. Anyway, so why? Because when we see oops, we open it up. We think somebody screwed up. We like seeing things that screw up. Anything to get the open. That's the secret right now. Anything to get the open is what people are doing. Right? On the B2B side, it's all about the future. What's the outlook? What's the forecast? What's the update? What's the trends? That's lifting open rates over 20% for all of that. Why? We just want to know what's coming. We just want to, are we going back to the office? Is my industry collapsing? Is hiring up or down? Right? What is going on? These are the words right now. Subject line, test them, get your open rate boosted, no brainer. Okay. Now, I have to put this in here because whenever I say free, somebody out there in email land, probably a lot of you, even though I literally talk about it in every webinar I do, they'll say, well, you can't use the word free in your subject line. You know, B2B, B2C, doesn't matter. You're gonna get filtered. You're gonna go to the junk folder. You're gonna get be a spammer. So here's a thing that came out. Adobe sent out a whole big write-up about subject lines that get emails open. I take this because you don't have to believe me. Okay? Here's Adobe. And what does Adobe say about the word free? It says, don't be afraid of free. Oh, that's great. Let me just give you a quick primer on content filtering. Okay. 15 years ago, yes, you would go to the junk folder. You would go to the spam folder for words that you put in your subject line. Free, mortgage, Viagra. Yes, you would go to the junk folder. 15 years ago, if you put an exclamation point, a dollar sign, a capitalization, yes, you would go to the junk folder 15 years ago. Unfortunately, we have a very lazy industry as it relates to people that call themselves email experts, which I don't call myself, by the way. Okay, email experts will tell you, because they don't like to think about what's going on today, they'll tell you, you still can't do these things. You still can't capitalize. You still can't say free. You still can't use exclamation points. You can't put numbers in your subject line. Why? They say you're going to get filtered using spammy words. It's not true. You don't get filtered because of the content, the words that you put in your subject line, your body copy, and the characters. You get filtered because of the sending reputation. Now, today, the world changed, right? It's not 15 years ago. You get filtered because of the sending reputation of your IP address, the domain that you're delivering from, the engagement that you have with your users, the relevancy of what you're sending out. You are not, go to your own inbox and go look at all the words in the subject line from the biggest and best marketers. They're going to be all the things that the email experts tell you not to do. Why? Because they know it works. They know that's not what's happening. So when you get emails from Microsoft and Square and Shopify and they're using words like free, it's fine. They know what they're doing. And when Walgreens does things like, oops, look at that. This is Walgreens, right? Oops, you almost scrolled past this. Isn't that amazing? Oops has become, no longer is it screwing up, it's get it open. Why? Because it's changed. Get the emails open. That's all that matters. I don't, everybody does it backwards. They say, oh, we have the greatest offer, right? We have the greatest copy. And they're like, what's your subject line? They're like, oh, I don't know. I'll figure it out. When it doesn't matter what your offer is, it doesn't matter what your subject, it doesn't matter what your content is if you can't get it open. Get the email open. Use every trick in the book. Use that friendly from. Use the subject lines. When Groupon, whose entire business is predicated on email, it's all predicated on email. They send out an email and then you react to it. So email is their business. Multi-billion-dollar company, it's their business. So when they put uh-oh in their subject line, are they doing it for no reason? No. They're doing it because they know it works. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting out there, well, I'm in a regulated industry. I'm in insurance. I'm in financial services, and our compliance people won't let us do that. That's not true. That's not true. Every major brand on the planet is doing this, and if you're not doing it, you're behind the eight ball. And things change very fast. Words change fast. Tactics change very fast, right? So words like hurry, 6 months ago, hurry was bad. Putting the subject line actually did worse. The wheels have come off. Email has changed, totally changed in the last 6 months, and it's now increasing your open rates. All right, we are cruising here. So let's keep talking. Wow, this is an insulting slide. That's okay. Let's keep on going. You are boring. Really, whenever I say you are boring, you may be boring. I don't know. I'm really talking about myself. We're all collectively very boring. But if we are boring as marketers, then that really is terrible. I got this email. And God bless Media Post. I'm sure they're wonderful. They've written nice articles with me in them in the past. They're probably never going to do that again. I don't really care. I get this email from Media Post, okay? And the subject line says, upcoming webinars from Media Post advertisers. And the open up is webinars from Media Post advertisers. I mean, who cares? Who cares that you have webinars from your advertisers, that you're trying to fulfill an obligation that you have to them, that they've spent money with you, and now I am the result of that, you're sending this to me. What is in this for me? Whenever you send out an email, you have to say what's in it for the recipient, not what's in it for you, the sender. You are irrelevant because you need the recipient to want to open this thing up. So when emails go out and Quicksilver says, our most versatile collection yet, who cares? To me, our original sustainable collection, who cares, right? InfoWorld research on the bottom. Help us better understand our InfoWorld audience. Are you kidding me? What does that do for me? For me, you sent it to me. How does that help me? It's like, help me, help you. It's ridiculous. So every time you send out an email, you have to wear the hat of the recipient. You have to say, what is in it for them? What do recipients like? Okay, recipients like feeling special. They like being recognized. They like secrets and suspense. They like little symbols called emojis. They like lists. They like free stuff. What else? What they don't like is basically everything else. And if you're not sending one of the things that they like, don't send the email. It's a waste of time. So for example, when you put just for in your subject line, just for you, that's all you have to do. In the subject line, your open rate increases 18 to 25% right now. So when Adobe sends out their email and says a free font just for you, Snapfish, Jay, this 8% off deal is just for you. Now, are we idiots? Do we think it's really just for me, or did they send this to like 4 million people? It doesn't matter. We feel good. It's subconscious. Like, oh, that's cool. It's just for me. And I open it up. Whether that's a reality or it's just buried deep in our brain somewhere that we like seeing just for you, it works. And it costs you nothing. Just for you works well right now. On the B2B side, even though that last one was both B2B and B2C, something that really kills it is if you put the title/function, either the title or the job function, when you mention it in the subject line, it does phenomenal. Lifts open rates by 31%. All you're actually doing is mentioning the target audience that you're going after. So when South Florida Business Journal sends out a thing and says webinar, what's today's CFO should be focusing on? You're like, oh, I'm a CFO. This must be really relevant for me. And as a recipient, this is for me. Okay. And then when HubSpot sends out what marketing leaders are investing in this year, like, oh, I'm a marketing leader. What are other people investing in this year? Attention restaurant owners, Franchise Times says, I'm a restaurant owner. I got to check this out. You want to know that it's for you and not everybody else. Just by putting that title or function, and by the way, it works well on the consumer side also. If you put for investors only, right? Stuff like that, it does really well. This idea of exclusivity of any kind, right? So the last one we just talked about, we were talking about title or function. That's exclusivity. You're trying to say this isn't for everybody. This is for you. Okay, that's how we win, right? But actually just putting the word exclusive. On the left, you have here on the B2B side an exclusive invitation to see Forbes CIO research. On the right side, you have Costco. In case you missed it, your $50 exclusive coupon is expiring soon. Just by putting exclusive in the subject line, 21 to 28% lift right now. This is not data from 2 years ago. This is now. We like exclusivity. We like the thing that not everybody has access to. That's what we like. We're like, check it out. It's a secret. That's what we like. Speaking of secret, it does really well. Every one of the subject lines here has the word secret. This word has really jumped up in the last, I would say, 4 months more than any other word. Putting your subject line to drive performance on offer B2B and B2C lifts open rate by 70 to 23%. It's ridiculous, right? When All Posters sends out their subject line and says, can you keep a secret? It's not like you have some sort of relationship where you're actually keeping a secret about a poster. I don't even know what that means. But it's this sense of exclusivity. It's like, ooh, I got access to something somebody else doesn't. I want to check it out. Awesome. Secret is good, right? So when AWeber, big email company, sends out, you want to know the secret to making more money? Yes, I do. What are the 5 secrets hidden in your financial statements from the Hartford? I don't know. This is exciting. We like exciting. Secret does really well. Ooh, I'm taking a sip of water. Hold on a second. We got a lot more to get to. What do we got? We got 18 minutes to solve all the world's problems, which is not going to happen. Uh-oh, there's a fly. I'm taking a sip of water. A couple of things, and I'm going to keep on cruising. Because we're on LinkedIn Live, I don't have your email addresses. So if you want the slides, which you may not, because these may be terrible, you have to email me at jays@corpwd.com. Okay, I'll put them up at the end as well, but just in case you want them, because I can't email them to everybody because I don't have your emails. Okay, this is totally embarrassing. I can't even believe I left this slide in here. That's fine. It's funny. I was putting this thing together, and I made the slide. I'm like, I got to take that out. That's ridiculous. But be that as it may. So on Monday this week, I watched the 3-hour finale of The Bachelorette. Okay, and it was fantastic. I mean, train wreck TV at its absolute best. And I will be watching Bachelor in Paradise, which starts next week, which looks equally horrible. And what does this mean? Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because we like to judge our audiences. We probably think, oh, you know, he's probably maybe, I don't think you think I'm like sitting at home watching like the Discovery Channel about like the history of like Pluto. But you may not think I'd be watching horrible TV like this. But guess what? We're a very simple-minded species. I being super simple-minded. I'll give you an example. On the right here, you see Fox Network. This is their upcoming TV schedule for the year. Okay, this is what they've announced. And their big shows are The Masked Singer, which is ridiculous. Alter Ego, which is about an avatar that you think dances around. Okay, WWE Wrestling, The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy. This is not real, intelligent stuff here. But this is what we like to watch. It doesn't matter if you're talking about professional emails, consumer emails, doesn't matter. We like, chill out stuff, right? We like to just lose our minds a little bit. We like to be happy. We want to smile. Things stink right now. We just want to smile. And we're not very bright. We're basically morons. Not you, you're a very intelligent person, but collectively, as a humanity, we're basically morons. Now, why do I tell you that? I don't tell you that to depress you. I tell you that because emojis work. Get on the emoji train. Get on the emoji train. Go back to your inbox, B2B, B2C. You will see a lot of emojis in the subject line. Why? Because they stand out. Like, I can't use emojis. I'm in financial services. I'm in IT. I target security professionals. I target CFOs. I target enterprise. I target grandparents. Wrong. These are just symbols to get your email to stand out in the inbox. Don't think of them as the thing that your teenage kid sends to you to make you feel stupid. They are just symbols to make your email send out. Oracle knows that, okay? NRF, the National Retail Federation, why are they putting a clock in their subject line? Really? They're using an emoji, a clock? This is one of my inboxes. All of them emojis. Really? SiriusXM, Uber Eats, Martech.com? They're all using emojis? Well, guess what? Emoji use in subject lines over the last 18 months is up 1,700% B2B and 3,200% in B2C. That's a lot of percent. Okay, why is it up? Why is everybody using it? Because it makes your email stand out. That is the game. How do I get my email open and not that dude's? This is new data from the last 30 days. These are the emojis that are giving the biggest open rate boost when used in the subject line. On B2C side, the one that's really jumped up the most is the party thing there, the second one, okay? And on the B2B side, the one that's jumped up the most is the blue dot. There's also the red dot. Now, why does the dot matter or a circle matter? Because when you put in the subject line, it stands out and it gets it open, okay? The clocks are always number one because it's saying time is running out and urgency is always critical. But you put these in the subject line, you're seeing open rate lifts, B2B, B2C, anywhere from 14 to like 29%. It costs you nothing. 92% of all recipients, B2B or B2C, can now see emoji symbols in their subject line. Microsoft Outlook and Gmail, I don't care. Anybody tells you otherwise is wrong. This works, you test it. That's it, right? Look, all these events, all these financial service guys, they're putting emojis in their subject line. Here's Domino's. This is my favorite email. This subject line is all it is emojis. I don't know what it says. I love this email. It just is emojis. Why do they do this? Because it gets me to open up the email. It gets me to open up the email. That's all I care about. Litmus. Litmus is like the company that tries to teach us how to do email marketing. What are they starting their subject lines with? Oh, emoji. Cool. All right, enough about the emojis. Lots of emojis. We love emojis. I got the idea. There are emojis. One last emoji stat, the peach. Did you know only 7% of people use the peach emoji as a fruit when they text and whatnot? That's true. The rest of us use it for other non-fruit uses. You are probably one of the people using it for non-fruit uses, which is why you're probably similar to me, and you may have watched The Bachelorette. So there we go. We're all in one big cesspool together. Nice. Okay, cruising on. Oh my God, I got a lot to get to, and I got 12 minutes. How are we going to do this? The top 5 most annoying people. Wouldn't you like to know who they are? Well, to me, they're overposters on Facebook. But for some reason, I like overposters on Facebook. I'm not one of them. These are people I don't even like anymore. The other day, the worst thing happened, though. I went on Facebook. I was looking at somebody I'm connected with from high school. I don't remember I barely know their name, but they're an overposter. And for some reason, I like to look through because I have a problem. And by accident, like on the 13th picture down, I clicked like. I did not mean to. My finger slipped, and I liked the photo. I had a nervous breakdown. I'm like, what do I do? I mean, it's like I'm a stalker. Oh my God. Anyway, so why did I tell you that? So here are emails from Oracle. 6 reasons to choose Oracle. 5 considerations of moving technology to the cloud. Why am I telling you this? Lists. We love lists. Lists are the best piece of content you could use right now. 5 easy ways to save space. In the last 60 days, subject lines promoting list content, okay, have increased open rates of 34 to 28%, B2B and B2C. Lists are the best piece of content. They work incredibly well. When you don't think you have an offer, when you don't think you have content, you can make a list. Nobody even cares. Nobody ever asks who made the list, right? We like lists. You put in your subject line 5 this, 7 that, 9 this. We like not missing out. We like to be able to scan quickly for information. We like feeling that we know the answers, that we're right. It's definitive. Lists are killing it. Try lists, right? Here's Apple, 9 apps people are loving. They don't even give you any data, right? They say they're loving them. Whatever. Not just lists, by the way. When you make a list, put a number to start your subject line. When you have a list email and the number is the start of the subject line, okay, you will see an increased open rate 18 to 24%. Okay. Now, when I said the top 5 most annoying people, I'm not going to list who they are, but you saw the last 3 dots. Those 3 dots matter. 3 dots at the end of your subject line do really well. When you see these 3 dots in your text message, it gives you agita, right? It gives you anxiety. What are they going to write? And then they go away, and you're like, why didn't they write me back? But anyway, you maybe notice that Amazon started doing something in a lot of their promotional emails, okay? At the end of their subject lines, they're putting 3 dots, dot, dot, dot. And you see it, all these here. This is not because there's more to the subject line. They're putting this in all their emails now, and you'll see it with lots of other marketers. I have a big question for you, dot, dot, dot. Believe it or not, just adding dot, 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 and when you know Amazon's doing it, you know they're doing it for a reason. At the end of your subject line, you're seeing an average open rate increase of 24%. Just dot, dot, dot. It's suspenseful. It's leading. It's like you should open this. It's all subconscious, right? Just announced, dot, dot, dot. It does really, really well. All right, a few more things. The wheels have come off. I said that earlier in email marketing. They really have come off. Email's crazy now, right? The dawn of the accidental open has come upon us. The dawn of the accidental open. What does that mean? I'm getting inundated now with emails, okay, from people that I don't know. Okay, and these are all emails here from random names. I have no idea who they are. Zero. And then when I open them up, I find out they're actually from major brands, like the one here from ClickZ, right? From Ben Dombrand. I don't know who that is. And they're working. Promotional email coming from names for brands in the last 60 days is up 370% B2B, B2C 220%. That's when you're getting these emails from dudes you don't know, and you're like, do I know that dude? Now the kicker, and you're like, well, they're really annoying. I don't like them. I delete them. I hate them. Well, here's the problem. They're working. On the B2B side, they're increasing open rates 28%, the B2C 22%. Why? Because we're all like, do I know that guy? And we open it up. So should you do this? I don't know. It's working. Here's what you need to say internally, though. Will your response rates go up? Yes. Will you get more complaints? Yes, because it's super annoying. So you got to weigh that. It actually works really well, right? I got an email from Dan Brown the other day, and the email said, I want to introduce you to Ryan. That was the subject line. I thought Dan Brown was the author of the Da Vinci Code. And I'm like, do I know Dan Brown? That'd be cool. And I don't know who Ryan is, right? It's just happening. It's everywhere. What I can't get on board with, by the way, is the fake forward. Don't do the fake forward. Veeam did this here. They forwarded an email, right? And it made it look like it was coming from this guy, Dave Russell, who I don't know, right? So it's from a dude I don't know, a fake forward. It looked like, oh my God, I'm on an email chain. I need to check it out. Don't do that. I don't like that. Forget about the pause. Okay, a few more things before we wrap up. The reason your email campaigns are not doing well is because you're sending too much. Wrong. The reason your email campaigns are not doing well is because you're sending too little. What? That's the reality. This slide is a vomit. Okay, this is B2B, and now I'm going to show consumer. Please hear me out on this. What you're looking at, on the top, you see 16, 17, 18, 19, 20%. On the bottom, you see numbers. The bottom is days in a month. No, it's not. That's not true. The bottom is the number of email sends in a month. So the first one, if you send out one email a month, your average email open rate is 16% on the B2B side. If you send out 7 emails in a month to your database, your average open rate is 19%. The optimal amount is to send out 16 to 17 emails per month on the B2B side to your database, 3.5 times per week. You're like, what? Yes, the more you send out, the higher your average open rate will go. And on the B2C side, it's 4 times a week. So wait, you're telling me if I send out more email, my open rate's going to go up, not down. Now, obviously, you have to send out relevant information, not garbage. But the reality of it is you need to train the receiving inbox, right? The receiving network on you as a sender. And if you don't send enough, they will view you as a non-ongoing sender. They will view you as no engagement occurring. So in reality, when you're like, oh my God, I'm sending out too much. No, you're not sending out enough. That's why the optimal open rates occur when you send out enough email. So when they tell you when you send out too much, that's not what's causing you pain. Okay, let me show you some examples. Associations. Look at all the emails. I got like 12 emails here in the span of like 4 days, right? SMB, Shopify. This is their sending volume. This is a calendar from mail charts. This is Shopify, 26 emails in a month. This is from now. This is July. This isn't old information. Casper, how many beds can I possibly buy? This is every day I get an email from them. 25 emails per month. This is their sending schedule. eMarketer, they literally teach us what to do, right? 10 emails in 4 days, right? 10 emails in 4 days. They literally teach us what to do. Okay, before I run out of time, I want to take you through some free stuff, okay? Free stuff. Don't disappear. You're going to want this stuff, okay? Number 1, the only way to get the slides, if you enjoyed today, is to email me, jays@corpwd.com. But don't go away. I have free stuff for you if you want the slides. Okay, the only way to get them. Now, my company puts out a calendar. The best and worst days to send out your emails. Green days are good days. It means it's going to perform well. Red days are bad days. We take into account all the data that we have access to, all the trends, all the holidays, everything. We just updated August 1st because of all the changes going on the planet. We have B2B and B2C. If you like a copy of this calendar, it's totally free. I email it to you digitally. You email me at jays@corpwd.com. I will send you that calendar. I will send you the slides, okay? But there's more. Please don't go away yet. Okay, now I started a new thing. I started a newsletter. It's not promotional. I send it out once every 2 or 3 weeks. It's only stats and trends that I see. It's called Scoop. If you want me to add you to Scoop, I never spam you in Scoop. You just have to say, add me to Scoop, or you can go to my full, long, very long name, and you could sign up there. Just say, add me to Scoop, and I'll add you. When you email me for the slides, say, add me to your newsletter, add me to Scoop. I will do that, but don't go away. There's still more. This is like an infomercial. Okay, subjectline.com, I mentioned that. You can go there, check your subject line, totally free. It's a division of my company. You could also now go there and check your open rate. Once the iOS 15 thing happens, there's a tool on there now. You can check your open rate. It's awesome. Okay, now, please connect with me on LinkedIn, because that's where I'm going to be promoting future LinkedIn Lives. A lot of you are not connected with me on LinkedIn. Send me a DM on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Email me if you want copies of any of this stuff. Leave some sort of a comment in the chat or whatever if this was horrible or changes or I don't know what. I greatly appreciate everybody attending today. I hope you found it useful. Hit me up with any questions you have. That was a lot of fun. So let me see what happens now. Now I go like this again. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. So we did it. That's the end. Hooray! Do we have fun? I think we had fun. Again, thank you for attending, and that concludes today's LinkedIn Live. Woo! Oh my goodness. Hooray!